Blessings, everyone. Today I would like to share, this is an oracle reading from a beautiful deck from James Van Praagh, The Soul's Journey. Spirit has been encouraging to expand some of the readings so I could start to do some private readings for people. And it's been just an extraordinary experience doing the channel, so I will be over the next week creating a place where I could do private YouTube videos for people and set up some kind of system so I could do that, because it's been such a beautiful thing to know that in some way that I could help others and inspire them to connect in their own way. So first, I would like to say thank you to Source for allowing me to be a medium of light. And I ask all in the unseen world to please step forward and help bring a message for the highest good. Thank you, I'm grateful. The first, I always shuffle 3 times, and the first shuffle always embodies Source. That opens the space for us to remember Source of all that is. The next shuffle embodies Spirit, all of the unseen world. And the third embodies Soul, which is our expression of all of this. Through the journey, through the personality, through the physical. That is our bit of love, our God light, so to speak, that helps us be animated, to breathe, to love, to create in the physical. And then I just kind of move the cards around and they'll tell me which one. Sometimes it comes up like that. Denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. And what I love about these cards is that even if we're not able to meditate, Spirit is saying that the beautiful images on these cards, we could just get lost. Tracing over this beautiful mandala with our eyes and allowing our mind to unfold and contemplate the message. And as Spirit steps forward, they are bringing my attention to the color, which is the sacral chakra and the solar plexus. The orange is the sacral chakra and the yellow is for the solar plexus. So they're encouraging to work with these centers today. Those who work with the chakras understand the symbolism. Creativity for the sacral and solar plexus for the I am. And what they're saying is that a lot of us are in this space of fear where we're being pushed to be more creative in our lives, but maybe we feel like we're not. Or maybe we tell ourselves that anything we do in this life creatively isn't going to be a source of income or accepted in the way that we're trying to express. And that affects our soul, our solar plexus. That's our grand central sun. But Spirit is saying, work with both of these spaces. Let go of the fear. We have to let go of that. We have to central sun, the grand central sun. We have to open up to this. The source of all that is within us, that light. That's in our solar plexus chakra. It connects us. It connects us to everything. It gives us a sense of identity and self. And the sacral chakra, we all know that to be they're correcting me, believe that the sacral chakra is for the sensual energy. It's the phoenix rising. It helps the kundalini. But in order to work with these energies, we must have the solar plexus clear. We have to have the connection with higher self, with self. Yes, the upper chakras help us to experience spirit and reconnect with our higher self and source and all of the guides and angels, galactic family. But in order to process the wisdom, in order to express, the lower chakras are the ones that we want to work with. But if we're in a space where we're not trusting that creative expression within all of us, if we're afraid that maybe we've got some inspiration and we want to create a party and a beautiful meal, have all of our friends over, or maybe where spirit has a sense of humor, they're talking about our in-laws. Maybe we're meeting our in-laws for the holidays and we're creating a dinner, or maybe we've been inspired to paint and we want to go to the local craft fair and create a table and start selling our art, and we're not sure, are we good enough? I have a son who is the most incredible artist. Also, my husband, Sasha, is just, he's got so many gifts, music, art, and they've all been finding their space with this. Spirit is representing this for me. They're showing me the image of my son and my husband, both who are artists. My son wants to tattoo, and he's got the most incredible artwork. And my husband is a painter, and he just creates these masterpieces, and just the artwork that comes out through source, connecting with these beautiful energies. People look at this artwork and they may not innately recognize with the mind what's going on, but they feel the energies, and it's such a beautiful thing to see when people are connecting with that. And so they're using this as an example to bring the message today that this isn't about, are we good enough? It's not questioning, are we going to be able to compete? Because when we're creation itself doesn't compete. Everything is got its place. The rain isn't competing with the sun, isn't competing with the earth, isn't competing with the wind. It's symbiotic. It flows. And so, yes, Spirit is saying, if we want to be in a rock band and go out and win a Grammy, there's other rock bands out there that want to do this too. But there's space for everybody. So when we start to expand in our consciousness, Spirit is saying that we don't have to be afraid. We don't have to be afraid to go put our face on the internet that people are going to start critiquing us and criticizing us. We don't have to be worried when we're connected with our higher self and we're creating, whether it's food, whether it's a photograph, whether it's a painting, a song, a poem, anything that we want to share that came into actuality through our expression of it is creating. Sacral chakra. Not to be afraid. We have to let it go. Put it out into the universe. Put it into the world. And those who it's meant to touch, inspire, encourage, will connect. And if we want to make a living doing these creative things, the most important part is connecting with the solar plexus, solar, the grand central sun, finding that energy of the soul and bringing that through, being secure in oneself, not letting fear propel us forward. And yes, Spirit is saying, we understand that we're afraid and we don't let it stop us. We don't let it hinder our creativity. But this is not an energy to hold. We have to move this energy. We have to alchemize it. And this is why we work with both of these chakras together. It's such a beautiful mandala. The inside of awareness. The card says the inside of awareness. Spirit is saying, this is innate. As we're creating sometimes, we just begin in a space of trust and in love that whatever this is going to unfold. And if we're starting a spiritual business where we're doing Reiki healing, or we've decided to open a muffin and cake shop in our kitchen and sell things at the local fair, or if we decided we're going to start selling real estate, or we're going to start to tattoo or make beautiful paintings of people's soul contracts, their expression of their auras. There's so many ways to be creative, and people resonate there. When we listen to music, when we're listening to our favorite songs, we're connecting. It's bringing us right into that space. So if we've experienced it from something creative from others, that we recognize that that's within us. Light recognizes light. Creation knows creation. It works together. So as we're listening to our favorite song, we might pick up that paintbrush and start creating what the experience is in that moment. How could we not trust that? It's what we are. We find a plethora of ways to express I love you to someone when we're saying this. We find a million ways to be creative with flavoring of food every day. You know, sometimes you get tired of the same old salad and you say, how can I spice it up a bit? It's creative. And we don't get in a space of fear over these things. It's just something that flows. And if we can recognize this, then the larger expressions of creation, the business ventures or the ideas, maybe it's something that we have an invention that we're kind of mulling around. We will do this in a space that's fearless because we understand the space. So Spirit is saying before they pull their energy back, get into the space today, recognize the energy of the sacral chakra. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the sensual energy. That's only part of it. And when we say sensual, we think of the senses: taste, touch, feel, hearing. And there's so many more that Spirit works with that we've started to expand in the higher frequencies. Remember, we're in the physical now. There are so many other colors that we haven't been able to really grasp in the physical that we are opening up to experience. We can use this energy. We rise in the sensual. We allow ourselves taste music, feel color, hear texture, express that. And then once we're in that space, we ignite the solar plexus, the grand central sun. Simply even by saying our own name, we can expand that light energy. We're vamping that energy up to use that to step forward. That's our security. That's our intuition. That's that knowing. Trust in the creativity. Be fearless with it. Share it. No matter what that is for us. Spirit wants us to understand that Many times we say that there's two things here that are for sure, and that is fear and that's love. And sometimes people are confused. They don't feel like they're creating from that space of love. They want to rise up the phoenix. They want the Kundalini energy. They want to experience what we say sometimes is the 5D. And we have to start here. We have to start with understanding what the energy is and how we can work with it in the physical. And then once we understand what we're embodying, then we can alchemize. They're pulling their energy back. I thank you for allowing me to share this message with you. I hope in some way of this inspires you to be creative, and no matter what you're doing, even if it's making a cup of tea today, that you just sit and recognize that something did not exist, and through your intention, you brought this into actuality. And from here is the seed. This is where everything comes into play. Much love, everyone, and many beautiful blessings.